Live. The O's are back in action this afternoon. It's the fourth and final of our 4 consecutive home games, and it's the Imps at Lincoln City who are in E10, and hopefully the O's can continue this fine run of form. I'm Ollie Buck. We're going to be bringing you all of the action here on Orient Live, and I'm delighted to be joined by Orient legends Joe Widdowson and Jabbo Bray. And I mean, let's pick up where we left off on Tuesday, Jabbo, by flying.
Yeah, absolutely flying. I'm buzzing. I'm just so excited to even watch the game. I don't want to talk right now, so I'm going to be out there watching. But I mean, just the confidence, especially going from the Man City game, and sometimes you can be all caught up in that emotion, and it's hard then to come back to your bread and butter and perform. And they just did that with some ferociousness up front. And you know, they're buzzing, the confidence is there. They've got a bit of swagger about them, and I'm just excited to see what they're going to produce today.
Richie said after the game on Tuesday night that this is, he thinks, one of the best squads he's had here. Young, powerful, fast, exciting. He was full of incredible praise, and you can see why, especially with those new signings coming in so seamlessly. Really exciting times.
Yeah, it is, and I think January was such a good month. I thought the recruitment, was so good. I feel like, we strengthened in all the key areas that we need to. We were looking a bit light up top. I think asking a lot of certain players, like young, inexperienced players as well in the first half of the season. So I think to reinforce those attacking areas now, it just seems like there's good options. There's a real competition for places, real quality as well. Like some of the players that we brought in, like the caliber of players, I think has really improved. What we've already had, not just brought in numbers for the sake of it, but added some real quality, which is good.
The games are going to start coming really thick and fast as it's Saturday, Tuesday for the foreseeable. So there has been a handful of changes, so we'll take a look at the starting 11 shortly. But first, let's hear from the gaffer, Richie Wellens.
And Lincoln to come on Saturday, we narrowly lost up there earlier in the season. What can we expect from them?
Well, I think we've had the last two games against them, especially away from home. We've had all the ball. We've played in front of them. We've been slow. We've been lethargic. And they've been waiting to pounce and press and counter-attack on us. So we need to be sharper with the ball. We need to be clever. We need to ask more questions. This season away from home, I don't think it was a game that we should have lost. But you start the game sloppily, especially second half, then you pay the consequences, and we did that. So, more pace, more power, more intensity about our game needed.
There's been lots of praise for your team in the last 7 days or so off the back of Man City, and one person in particular who's got a lot of praise is Jamie Donnelly. He's won the EFL Young Player of the Month award. How just deserved is that for him?
I thought he should have won the Player of the Month. I think he scored 5 and assisted 5 in a month. That's difficult to do, so whoever won it must have been playing really, really well. But it's not just about the goals and the assists. His development has been huge off the ball. He's winning second balls now. He's been in the right place defensively. His duels now, he's starting to change his body. He looks like a real man now, even though he's a baby. And I've said on previous interviews, I couldn't be more proud of him, the way he's handled himself, the way he's come through that difficult period. And we're looking at a real top talent. His potential is huge. So a reward that is fully deserved. And hopefully he can keep pushing and want more awards from now to the end of the season.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Wow. Top stuff there from Richie, and now let's take a look at the starting 11. And as I said, there's been a handful of changes, what with this big pile-up of fixtures coming, but starting in goal, as always, it's our number 24, it's Josh Keeley. Across the back line, at left back is Jack Curry, and on the opposite side of the defence is Tom James. Wearing the armband is Jack Simpson, partnering Amari Edmonds-Green at the heart of the defence. In midfield, Jordan Brown plays alongside Ethan Galbraith, who moves into a more central position today. Azim Abdullahi, who did play in that leading role on Tuesday, drops into the number 10 role with Randall Williams and Sonny Perkins either side of him. And back to leading the line is Charlie Kelman. And on the bench for the O's is Noah Phillips, Brandon Cooper, Dan Adji, Don Ball, Jamie Donnelly, Jalang Jayasimi and Dylan Markindale. So, is it any real surprise that there have been changes? We've already had a Saturday, Tuesday. We've got Wrexham on Tuesday, which is a bit of a late surprise. And then we've got so many fixtures building up after that as well. And with the intensity we play at, is it any real surprise that Richie's looking to keep things fresh?
Richie's always done that. He's always changed teams. He's always tried to keep things fresh, and he makes good judgment calls. So, and like I said, with big games coming up or a lot of fixtures coming up Saturday, Tuesday, it's important to rotate the players, especially when everyone is playing well, and you're not going to lose too much by changing certain people. So I think he's utilising the squad, and it's competition for places, and it's actually good to see.
I mean, I know the old motto is you don't change your winning side, and you look at the players who have dropped to the bench. Jamie Donnelly's been the star of the show recently, but he's been such a star that he's maybe starting to look a little bit like he's young. This is his first season in men's football. It's a shame you probably won't see too much of him today, but you've got the quality in that three. Now we were discussing just before we came in here about what your best kind of front 3 or 4 is. It's hard to pick, isn't it?
It is, but I think when you've got such good options to choose from, and you're taking out the likes of Jamie Donnelly, but you're bringing in the likes of Azim Abdullah, who's hit the ground running, and he's in great form as well. So I think when you've got players in form, it's fine to just keep putting one in, taking one out, keeping, as you said, keeping them fresh. So many games, they're all going to get so many minutes as well. So I think it's just kind of keeping everyone involved almost. And as Jabbo said, it's something that Richie's always done. He's always kind of tinkered with his teams from time to time, and I think it's a good tactic. It's a good way of just keeping everyone chomping at the bit, keeping everyone kind of fresh, and knowing that they are going to be needed and there is a role to play for everyone.
And let's talk about Azim. He obviously started left wing in his first couple of games for the club. Was excellent as a striker on Tuesday night. I think he was brought in for this role, either an 8 or a 10. But it's just the quality he possesses. When he was taking the mick on at points on Tuesday night, it was ridiculous. Playground stuff.
His profile's so good. He's shape. He's strong. Good shoulders, broad to pin. But he's got speed and agility to go in behind. And when he's on the ball, he's got a bit of swagger about him. He knows where they are. Just puts his weight one way, drag backs the other way. He's just got it. And to come into a team with that confidence, and he's new. It looks like he's been there for months, and it's just a testament to the squad and the energy that Richie's built at the training ground for players to come in so well and perform like he's performing. He's just a really nice threat to have for us.
Talking about hitting the ground running, one man's done that really well on Tuesday night, and he did it running really fast as well. Randall Williams, he's a really nice addition in the sense of what he brings, which maybe we've been lacking with our options so far, but he's an exciting player to have at our arsenal. Yeah,
he is a real good addition. I think he brings that. I was saying it to you guys before we started. I think he brings that kind of that speed and that directness that we used to see from Paul Smith when he was here. That real pace that frightens teams. That pegs teams back. He'll carry the ball. Do you know what I mean? He'll get you up the pitch. And on the break, he's such a threat. And I just think that there's been times this season where we've said there's so much right about the build-up play, the passing, moving the ball up until the final third, where we just need that little bit, that little bit of directness, a little bit of pace, that someone that can just go past the man and flashing across or get a shot off. And I think he's someone that can offer that. And someone that do you have a slightly younger Randall Williams from your playing days? Yeah, played against him when he was at Exeter. Real handful, quick, direct, just wanted to take you on again and again and again. So yeah, he was a real tough opponent. And yeah, I've kind of tracked him ever since. I know he went off to Hull and then Bolton. So he's gone to play at a good level, but I think he's a real good signing for us. And finally, of course, another January signing, but only a loan signing that was made permanent. Sonny, he had a really kind of tough introduction into men's football, but he's someone who's grown into this side, and we've obviously Richie and Martin Ling have seen a lot in him to sign him permanently, and playing alongside these players we're talking about, Azim and Randall, he's got to really fight for his place, but he's really stepping up to the plate and doing that. And today's another chance for him to do so. Yeah, of course. I think the important word there is the environment. I think a lot of players have come into this environment and then just kicked on and excelled. And I think for someone like Sonny, who wants to get his minutes and he wants to get game time, and there's no better place to be in this environment to enhance his game with some professionals that can give him some advice. And you see him play in the FA Cup earlier on in the year where he scored a brace, and so there's huge potential in him. And when he gets the opportunity, it's down for him to try and take it, which he's capable of. But I think being into the environment, his game's going to enhance and he's going to get better and better. So it's a good signing for us. And then leading the line, of course, Charlie Kelman. He ran about £100 million worth of defenders ragged against Man City. He was sensational, and probably he would have been gutted to have not been able to play on Tuesday night. As a striker, he'd probably be desperate to get goals. So watching his teammates put him away, he would have probably been a little bit gutted.
But you use that as fuel for today, don't you?
Yeah, and you can see it when he came on the other day. You know, he's just like on it. He's up for it. He's got that intensity about his game at the moment. And this is Charlie Cameron we're all wanting to see. You know, he's got a bit between his teeth. He knows, like he's taking shots fast now. You know, earlier in the season he would take a touch. He's first instinct going to shoot. He's looking like the real deal. And I was wanting to continue to score and take us up into those players' positions.
In an interesting midfield duo, Darren Pratley has played so much football, he's probably having a deserved rest. Ethan Galbraith and Jordan Brown, we've seen Ethan at right back, of course, in a more attacking place in midfield, but I think with the form Ethan's in, you could play him in goal and he'd probably drop a 9 out of 10. I mean, that's a young and exciting midfield in them too.
Yeah, it is, you know, bundles of energy, you know, good experiences as well now. You know, they've both sort of played a decent amount of games at the level, and I think, you know, especially with Ethan, as he said, the form he's been in, you know, you can just put him anywhere. You just need to find a space for him in the team. I think, you know, he's has such an influence on the game wherever he plays, whether it's right back, whether it's in the wide positions. But I do feel like, you know, he needs to be in the middle of the pitch. Just get him on the ball. And I'm actually quite looking forward to seeing him in a deeper role today, where, you know, he probably needs to be a bit more disciplined, but a lot of the ball will go through him. You know, he'll be receiving it off the back four. He'll be, you know, trying to find the forward players. You know, trying to play passes through the lines. But with the way he likes to play as well, I'm sure he'll be wanting to drive, wanting to make the box, do you know what I mean, and get in goal scoring position. So I think that he can really kind of, you know, dictate the game for us today and there. And obviously, you know, we know Jordan Brown brings, you know, real steady, assured, good passing range, comfortable on the ball. So I think those two together will complement each other nicely.
We'll come on to Jordan Brown shortly, but when you look at kind of Ethan Galbraith playing, you'd imagine in that right hand side of midfield, and when you've got Tom James nearby him as well, whilst we talk about the front four being kind of interchangeable and fluid, you've got that there. If Tom James is coming in, if Ethan's going on, like you've got so much quality in that area of the pitch, haven't you?
Yeah, and they can interchange. You know, if someone gets forward, he can fill in because he's played a lot of the part of the season in that right back area, and you know, and that's what they're creating. There's just such a fluidity everywhere that everyone knows if someone goes, they'll fill in and plug that hole. And it's just great to see, and I just think, you know, they're playing with that belief that I think they're really beginning to believe how good they really are. Coming off the back of the Man City game, I think it's given great confidence, which went into Tuesday's match. And if they keep believing, I just think it's all about attitude now, because I think there's more than enough. I've seen more than enough to say they're real, genuine contenders to make the playoffs. If they just go with the right attitude each game, I think they can really do it.
And just on that as well, I think like I reckon it's something that Richie specifically targets in players, you know, boys that can be versatile, do jobs in different positions, because as well, like when, as Jabba said, when you got your centre midfielder dropping into right back, the right back just, you know, wandering into the centre of the park, and they can both do the same role, they know the position. It's hard to play against, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You got your left winger, suddenly he switches to the right hand side, your centre forward drops into number 10. Yeah. It's so hard when it's just that fluid and that kind of, and that mobile, and everyone can perform in all these different roles. It's a real difficult job for the opposition to cope with.
Absolutely. And we're talking about this fluidity and interchange in football, but one person who's been at the heart of it and probably been a bit of an unsung hero, Jordan Brown. He's that one in there in midfield, isn't he? He's probably not going to go and interchange with.
He'll do a job at right back.
He can do a job at centre back.
Yeah. And he scored a nice flick the other day, so yeah, he can centre forward runs.
He can do what he wants, but he is really important to this team, isn't he?
Yeah, I think again having that strong spine, whether it's him, Prats, or when they both play together, having that person there, that's just the assurance, you know, someone who plugs the holes and allows the license for those sort of so-called more attacking players to go in advance. You have him there, just plugging, using his brain and getting more and more mature in that position in each game. And you're right, he's a bit of an unsung hero, but I'm sure the players know his true value.
We're seeing some of the action from early in the season. Unlucky with his strike there. He said that he's not scored this season. He was desperate to in an interview, but that was a deft flick, a lovely backheel finish. But goals aren't really his game as much as he'd really like to add goals. He's just he's like a Craig Clay almost, isn't he? Where he runs, he gets the ball, and he gives it to the players who do their stuff.
Yeah, he does, but you know, his passing is really good. You know, I think often, you know, we don't kind of really appreciate his range of passing there. Like, you know, he's got that one there where we can just sort of, you know, like spray balls around. knock them out wide, but then he's got the, we can wrap it through the lines, and really sort of get us on the front foot in an attacking sense. I like it when he goes and gets the ball off the back four and, turns and plays forward. So I think at times, sometimes he can be a little bit slow to do that. I think often he doesn't know just how much time he's got or how good he can be when he just gets it bang and gets out of his feet and plays early. But no, real good player, like really developed well, I think, over the last 2-3 years since he's been here. And yeah, he's a key man in there for us.
He certainly is. It was absolutely buzzing for Jordan to get off the mark for the season on Tuesday night against Mansfield with that goal. And let's hear his thoughts ahead of this afternoon's game then.
I think we're in some good form at the moment. Obviously we had a little step away from the league with the Man City game, and that was a great occasion for us all, but yeah, we were really keen to get back to the league, and yeah, Tuesday night was a good performance from us, but things in football can change very fast and we've got to stay focused for the next one now on Saturday. It's always nice obviously to pop up with a goal. I've taken my time this season, but yeah, nice to get off the mark. Always, obviously, to help the team, it's a great feeling. But the most important thing for us is obviously getting the 3 points and trying to push further up the table. And we've got a goal together as a team that obviously we want to achieve. And every day we're pushing each other to step in the right direction, and that comes from the staff to the players. And yeah, the atmosphere at the games have been really good, so hopefully that can continue. I've come close a few times this season off set pieces and that, and it's just about trying to be sharp in the box and get away from your man. And yeah. I know with the quality that Galbraith has on the ball, that he can put it into a good area, and just managed to get that half a yard and flick it into the far corner, and yeah, went in, so happy days. To be honest, at the time, obviously it all happened so fast, and I've sort of had to flick it into the far corner, so I didn't know if it took a deflection or whatever, but yeah, I was quite pleased with it. Yeah, it was alright, but obviously there's bigger things than myself scoring, and that's the team winning, so just glad that I could be, a helping hand really. It's always a bonus in it when you can score in that, but for me, I just want to perform to my best, and I feel like if I do that, I can help the team, whether that be score or assist or play forward passes and win my duels. I'll just be happy if I can do that, and obviously a purple patch would be nice if I could score a few, but yeah, we'll see what happens, and we'll just keep with our foot on the gas, and we can keep pushing up the table. Being a part of this squad's honestly it's the best feeling that you can have really. I think when you're coming on a daily basis, and we're like a big family, and you can feel like when you're on the pitch, you run through brick walls for the manager, the staff, the players, and I think when you've got that environment, I think it can be really special, and what we've created is special, and the memories that we want to obviously achieve this season will live with us forever, so let's try and do it together, and it'll be really good. It's always going to be a special occasion when we play Lincoln, with the circumstances that happened last year, and still to this day, it's one of them things that you play with pride from that day for him, and for us it's just about trying to make him proud and his family proud, and wear the badge with pride, and run through brick walls and do everything you can to make it a special occasion, and that's going to be the same on Saturday. We're going to make sure we do that.
Right then, just over 10 minutes to go until kick-off, so don't forget, if you're watching along live on the YouTube preview stream, then international fans, you can head over to the Match Centre on the Orient website and pick up your streaming passes to watch along with us here on Orient Live. And UK fans, you can get an audio pass to listen along as well. Kick-off, as I say, is in just over 10 minutes, so don't hang about and go and get your passes now. And then looking to 24 hours time, there's going to be another game happening here at the Gotham Group Stadium, and it's the women's team who are in action against Islington Borough Ladies. Kick-off is at 2 o'clock and entry is free through the West End. So if you're in town, make sure you get down and get behind the girls. But now let's turn our attention back to today's match, and let's take a look and see how the visiting side are shaping up. So it is Michael Scabala's Imps who are looking to cause a bit of an upset here in E10, and starting in goal for Scabala's men, it is number 31, Zachary Geacock. They have a back three of Sean Rufflin and Lewis Muntzmer alongside the captain, Powdy O'Connor. Moving into midfield, you have Conor McGrandles and Ben House. And starting with them, first start since returning to the club is Sam Clucas. In the wide positions is Rico Hackett-Fairchild and Dom Jeffries. And the two attackers is Jovan McKamer and Freddie Draper. And on the bench is George Wickens, Adam Jackson, Ethan Hamilton, Tom Bayliss, Eric Ring, James Collins and Zane Okoro. So, that's the away side, Jabbo, and it feels like whenever we play Lincoln, we lose in the 91st minute. They're a bit of a bogey team at the moment, but hey, that's in the last couple of seasons. This is a new Leyton Orient and one that they should be afraid of.
Yeah, indeed. And this would be like a good level to see where we're really at as well, because they have been a bit of a bogey team for us. I think the last time we beat them, I think I scored, if I'm honest, and that was about 20 years ago. But I think, you know, it would be a good test to see where we really are. But the form we're in, the way we're playing, I think they're going to be scared, and I think we can end that bogey today.
Any chance to crowbar in that Lincoln?
Yeah, the goal of the season, you might as well say.
Well, if any younger fans who haven't seen it, it is on YouTube, isn't it, Jamo? He'll send you a link on fast track. But looking at Lincoln, there's 7 points behind us. They've kind of changed positions with them in recent weeks. They had a strong start, and Skabala, since coming in, has impressed a lot of people. He was a coach at Leeds, and now he's done a decent job with Lincoln. Just missing out on the playoffs last season, but they're an interesting side, aren't they?
Yeah. Look, they're always a kind of steady League One team who always kind of, you know, they're never anywhere near the relegation zone. They're always sort of like mid-table, pushing for those playoff places, aren't they? And as you said, they've caused us a few problems. I remember watching them here last season in the rearranged game where I think they scraped it 1-0, and they were a decent side. You know, they had a few threats, had a really good centre midfielder, and they've been going pretty steady this season. But like Jabbo said, I think they'll be really concerned about coming here today. And I just think, like, you know, the form they've in, that we've been in. You know, watching clips, the number of threats and the different ways that we can hurt them today. I think they'll be coming here thinking, you know, let's just try and contain, keep ourselves in the game. Because, you know, especially after the Tuesday and you know, the way that we blew away Mansfield, I think they'll be wanting to try and just sort of, you know, hang in there. Do you know what I mean? But look, you know, they're a decent side. They'll pose threats of their own. But, you know, I think if we're at it today and if we're in the form that we've shown in recent games, then, you know, I can see it being a tough afternoon for Lincoln.
Absolutely. And whilst they're only 7 points behind us, we're 17 goals ahead of them in goal difference. They've conceded a lot more goals than us, 10 more goals, and we've scored 10 more than them as well. So, you know, when it goes to that area of things, if you look at some clips of them defending, you know, they're on paper a weaker side than us.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team that we know we can score against, and we're full of goals at the moment. But they are a strong outfit. But in recent times, they've been conceding some cheaper goals in and around the box and not plugging areas well enough. And it's something that we can definitely capitalise on. And like I said, like Joe was saying, we have various ways where we can score and lead attacks. So, you know, this just looks inviting for us for sure.
Certainly does. And statistically, they've only kept 8 clean sheets so far this season. They concede just over a goal a game. If you are Randall Williams, Azim Abdullah and Kelman and Sonny, you're looking at this and you're hoping that we have a similar start to Tuesday night and we just continue that really aggressive attacking football. Yeah,
absolutely. But do you know what? I think whoever turns up here today, I just think the form that we're in, you know, we just have to take the game to them. We just have to literally continue in that, you know, that sort of that positive frame of mind, be on the front foot. As Richie said when he spoke before the game, you know, that pace, that power, that intensity. Go and hurt teams. You know what I mean? We've got the personnel to really kind of, you know, go and do some damage. So you know, hopefully we can start well today, start sharp, and really take the game to them.
Sam Clucas, as I said, first start for the club since returning to Lincoln. He's a player of a lot of quality. He played a lot of football. He's going to add some quality for them in the middle of the park.
Yeah, they're going to hope so as well. I mean, he's got a good pedigree. He was a really highly thought of player a few years back. So to have someone of his calibre back in the side, and in recent times they've got a couple of draws in recent games. So they're going to be looking to sort of have aspirations of getting back in contention for those playoffs and closing the gap. So it's a big game for them. But, you know, we just have to, I think if we just focus on us, don't think we have to fear anyone, the form we're in. And I think that's the most important thing today. Just, you know, do the right things. It's about mentality, I think, now. I think we've shown we've got the capabilities, we've got the players, we're on the form, but have we got that mentality that every game we're going to turn it and churn on?
Well, let's run through the starting lineup for the O's one more time with kick-off just over 5 minutes away. And in goal is Josh Keeley, of course, across the back line. We have Jack Corrie at left back and Tom James at right back. Jack Simpson is the captain this afternoon, and he partners Romari Edmonds-Green at the heart of defence. Jordan Brown and Ethan Galbraith in midfield, with Azim Abdullahi ahead of them in the 10 and Sonny Perkins on the right and Randall Williams on the left. And Charlie Kelman leads the line. And on the benches, Noah Phillips, Brandon Cooper, Dan Adjie, Don Ball, Jamie Donnelly, Jaleng Jaisimi and Dylan Markanday. I mean, I don't want to jinx anything or get ahead of ourselves, Joey, but with the form, it's hard not to get carried away. But it's important that you don't, and not us, but for the players, creep into overconfidence or any complacency.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, I think that's where, the manager, the staff, the senior players will just be like, the likes of Darren Prattley and Omar, who's obviously injured, but in and around the squad, just be saying like, look lads, come on, let's, we're doing well, let's keep it going. And I think also the boys will know, like, they need to keep their places in the team. They need to play well to be picked the next game, because there's genuine competition, and there's boys that are on the bench and even in the stand who are, ready to come in and want to play and want to impact the squad. And I just think that, where everything's looking so good at the moment, you just want to keep it bubbling along. Do you know what I mean? You don't, we're not going to win every game from now to the end of the season. But I just think, as long as the performances are continue to be positive, we're in a good place, and hopefully it will continue.
Hopefully it will continue indeed. Well, Tijuana Taxi is ringing around E10, and it's time to hand over to our match commentary team of Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock.
Good afternoon, welcome to the Gorham Group.